Hello, Jeff Cowan here. Thank you for watching and listening. Well, here we are. It's now July 10th, the week after July 4th. Everybody's back to work, and it's time to really get going here. Now, you remember from last week's video, we put our new series of Hump Day messages that was filmed recently at the Best Training Day Ever on hold. And the reason we didn't show and continue it last week is because so many of you wrote in and asked us to put it on a temporary pause because you had so many people off work that you didn't want anybody to miss anything. So we sent out one of our classic videos, and as always, it got a huge response. But now that everybody's back to work, it's July 10th, it's time to get it restarted. This week's message I really like because I'm going to show you steps to getting to having world-class service. So with that, gather your people around, make sure they've got something to write on, something to write with, and they take great notes. And until next time, have a great day.
Because this is your new customer. This is what they want. This is what they respond to. This is how they're used to communicating with people. It's one thing when you go to the convention here the next couple of days to put an iPad on the service drive. It's another thing if you go over here to the convention and you put this other technology and software on the service drive. But the thing is do they know how to use it? What's the presentation and how does it look to the customer? That's the question. This is a new customer. And the path to purchase has changed. And the quicker you recognize that this is a new customer and you handle them a different way and you give your people the tools they need and the knowledge they need to use that tools, the more you're going to sell service. Overnight, you can double that's what we're seeing with this. Why? Because we simply understand the new customer. That's how these people are having their best year ever. In 2008, they saw it just like that. This is a new customer. This is a whole new mindset. In July of 2008, everybody was the old customer because they had plenty of money in the bank. But in September, October, when nobody had money, the smart people saw this is a whole new mindset. And they responded to it. And now they're ahead of the curve. Let's go on here. Steps to achieving world-class results. Now check this. You first have to know and understand the customer. You must have professional displays. I know I'm repeating myself, but I've got to drive this home. You must have the newest technology, and the newest technology in my mind, yes, I know there's iPads and there's pads for the drive, and there's other things being talked about. This is the latest and the greatest. This is what's going to work. I'll tell you why in a second. You must have process, so that every time I come in, I'm handled the same way. It's not that I get a video from this guy and not that guy, or I get a good video from this girl but not that girl. Process. Okay? And then we're going to hit it hard with execution of the process. We're going to tie this to their pay plans. We're going to make it company policy. Now let me share something with you real quick. This is the hard part. And the reason it's the hard part is because nobody is comfortable holding their people accountable. For the life of me, I don't understand why this happens. In cars, we have no problems letting somebody go because they only sold 2 cars a month. In parts, we have no problem letting somebody go because the delivery truck was just too slow. But on the service drive, you come in, it's like a freaking lifetime commitment. Well, he's got 2 kids and a wife, or she's a single mom, or they've been here for 20 years. But they can't sell. And I asked the service advisors, and I'm not going to let you off the hook, dealers. I asked the dealers, well, why would you let somebody out there that's only doing 1.2 hours per repair order? Why would you let somebody out there that's doing it? Well, it's because we're dedicated to our people. Let's talk about dedication for a second, okay? This may be the most important part of the meeting, outside the fact that Steffi told us she's pregnant. Sorry. That's big news for us, man. We're like a family at Pro Talk. I love these people that work with me. They're the best in the business, and I'm not ashamed to say that. I mean, if you saw how much the 72 hours leading up to this, they busted their asses. And since this isn't NADA, I can say ass, okay? They busted their asses it's unbelievable. I'm the luckiest guy on the planet. So anyway, here's the thing. These people you're trying to protect, here's what I want you to think about. The latest financial crisis, when things were tough, how many of your people, these people you're protecting on the service drive, how many of these people came to you and said, boss, I know things are tough, and I know things are tight. I'm going to voluntarily give you back 10% of my income until things turn around. How many of these people came to you and said, you know what, I know we've been talking about Saturday hours. You go ahead and open up on Saturday. I'll be here with a great attitude, and for the first 6 months, you won't even have to pay me for being there because I know that's what's going to help the business. How many of these people came to you on a late night and said, you know what, I know I'm in service, and you've got a big thing going on this weekend. I thought I'd come in and help you out. How many of these people said, you know what, how about tonight when I get through at 6 o'clock, I go to the Business Development Center and make telephone calls and try and get more people into service? How many of your people that you're trying to protect did that? None. Why? Because they see something that you don't see, and that's this. It's a business deal. They're with you as long as you pay them. Stop paying them, they leave. If you can't pay them, they get mad. So why are you trying to protect them? And I'm not saying go fire all your people. I'm not about that. But I'm just saying if they can't perform, we can't keep them. Let's go on. Sales training at least once a week forever. This is huge. I alluded to this earlier. You're lucky because later on, Alan Ram's coming up here. He's going to talk to you about some great sales and leadership stuff. Great content. Paul Folletti at lunch, great content. Joe Verdi, I don't even need to say anything. Some of the best content out there for sales. And then as far as leadership and execution, Dave Anderson's going to knock your socks off. That guy's a legend. You've been by his booth yet? This guy writes books. He's got so many books. I told him I'll stand in your booth and sign them too. Here's what's funny about that. He's going to let me. That's how nice he is. Strong content. But seriously, when's the last time you had a sales training meeting with your service advisors where you sat them down every Wednesday and said, okay, here's the new technique, here's the new close, here's where we're weak in the process. This has to go on forever. If you want to be a retailer, you have to have retail salespeople. And to have retail salespeople, you've got to hire them like retail salespeople, train them like retail salespeople, and continue to train them forever.